Our first guest tonight is a Grammy-nominated comedian and actor you know from shows like Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian, and movies like The Heat and The King of Staten Island. The vinyl release of Bill Burr, live from Madison Square Garden, is available at amoeba.com September 23rd. Please welcome back to the show, Bill Burr. Bill, how are you, my friend?
What's going on? I love that dramatic pause after Grammy. I got excited, like, wait, did I win? This guy's a Grammy nominated. Damn it.
I wanted you to go through that whole moment, that whole emotional journey again.
Oh, it was great. I was there. They had the thing sitting in front of me like they were going to hand it off to me like a running back. And the winner is someone else. And then the guy just turns away. And 5 seconds later, you're standing in the parking lot with your suit on, wondering what the hell just happened.
No, this is really cool. This is kind of a throwback to what comedy albums used to look like way back in the 70s, sort of a big double album. And It's sort of also a historical document for when you played Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I wanted to, when I play these places that I never thought I would play, I made one at Carnegie Hall. I'm doing it for me and then just like big time comedy nerds. That's why I put it on vinyl, because I did Paper Tiger like 4 months after this. So this is sort of where my act was, and it's, you know, a half hour longer, I think, than, there's a whole side of it that's not even on Paper Tiger. And there was this whole chunk that I wanted to have in Paper Tiger where I was making fun of the whole support the troops, firemen are heroes, all of that stuff. So all of that is on there. It's just, it's, you know, it's sort of a weird, what the hell happened? Oh, when I was in London, there was some terrorist attack. So that just put a weird sort of, and for some reason they didn't tell me that happened. We don't need it to be in his head. So the information I needed to make it work, I didn't have. So we took it out, but it ended up being a great thing for the special because, you know, I think people just sitting down, like on Netflix, there's so much stuff to watch. You kind of want to get in and get out. So, but this is the long, you know, if you're at home, you're on drugs, you know, you got to cut up whatever you're cutting up. I got the vinyl album there for you. Old school. Put on your headphones.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, after you play one of these historic spaces like Madison Square Garden, does it make it harder to go to smaller venues, or is it exactly as exciting as that was before, too?
No, I like doing that as like I like going back into the trenches. Like, I've never been a person, like, after you do the big thing, you then have to go to the club in like the 3 SUVs, and then people have to make sure it's okay for you to be, and you just make this big thing. You just make this big thing so everybody's looking and they see this is what happens. They can't go anywhere. It's like, well, if you just walk in, no one would care. So I am, after I listen to my own stupid voice for an hour and a half, I go the exact opposite. I like a dive bar. Back when I used to booze, I'd go to like a dive bar. I remember doing the Beacon, and I didn't even really have an after party. We just found the nearest dive bar, and I remember some woman there was going like, "This isn't what like an after party should be. Like you just played that place. This should be like nicer and everything." It's like, well, what's wrong with this place? I hate those places when I was drinking that it took forever to get a drink, and if you're a guy, they just didn't give. I used to have to send my wife up. I'm like, you better, you know, you're good looking. Go up. They'll talk to you. Maybe he thinks he's gonna bang you or something, and maybe I can get a beer. So I like those bars back. Oh man, I miss drinking. I used to love day drinking.
Should we change the subject before you get too far down this road of missing it?
I just remember how hard it was to quit. I'm not going to go back, but I'll tell you, every once in a while, I'll just see a bar that I would have gone into.
Yeah.
And I used to love going in during the day with the pro drinkers, you know, and you'd come walking in and they just give you that glance. And then when you weren't loud and you sat down and you ordered a man's drink, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they knew that you had your drink and you were just going to stare down at the bar and think about your regrets and not disturb anybody. It was like day drinking by yourself, you know, as much as they say don't do it, is one of the big thrills I had as an adult.
Yeah, I love that, like, soft wood where people could carve their misery in for the next person, you know, just like half a message of sadness that then you, when you had your drink, could look down and realize you're not alone.
Yeah, the creepy, like, playful flirting the older drunks were doing with the younger waitress and watching her knowing how to play it perfectly. so she'd still get tips. I mean, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You're doing a signing of this at Amoeba in LA. Will
Yep.
this be a situation where you will ask your fans to wear a mask when they come in, and will you refuse
I will
the
definitely
unmasked
be wearing
fan?
a mask, but I'm at the point now, I don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care if you think the world's flat. I don't care. I don't care what you think. Just do whatever the hell you're going to do. I hope the virus gets deadlier, and I want it to just wipe out way more people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for, because, I think we all tried to pull in the same direction. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And we're all sort of broken up into these pods on the internet where people just want to hear what they want to hear. So, I mean, go ahead, go take alligator plaque medicine, whatever the hell you're into. Maybe it works. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just.
You have always had the position that we have a population issue in this world. Like, you believe we have
Yes.
too many people. So I guess every time you see one of this is both this is
People are
opportunity.
blaming red ties and blue ties for this whole thing, and that's not. You should blame God and modern medicine, because God made people flawed, and modern medicine kept them all alive. Defeated Mother Nature. That's why there's 8 billion mouth-breathing morons on the planet, myself included. I should have died of an appendicitis in 1980 under a stack of wool blankets and people rubbing garlic on my forehead or whatever the hell they used to do. But instead, they kept me alive. So now you have to listen to my ignorance. It's a plague. There's a plague of people like me. So I think it's great that people are going to go old school and not listen to doctors and, go back to doing dances or whatever the hell they're going to do.
We need more healthcare dances. We've lost that.
Let's go. Go back. Go. Whatever the hell you want to do. I cared right up until when the vaccine came out and people still like, I'm not taking it. Then I was just like, all right, well then I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for
I
it.
agree with you 100%. I was so excited to get it, and I couldn't believe that was not shared by everybody. You go out.
I get
you're
it.
touring-
I mean, listen, big pharmaceutical hasn't exactly. I mean, they also created the opioid epidemic, and
Yep.
people have lost their kids, and they're not held accountable at all. Are they, Seth Meyers?
They
are not. But if you tell the wrong joke in a strip mall, oh my God, you lose your career. It's so stupid. The stuff that people are paying attention to. I had a buddy of mine last year freaked out because they made Mr. Potato Head non-binary. He's like, you can't say Mr. Potato Head anymore. It's like, you can. You just did. And they don't care about people that want to transition. This is a marketing ploy. All right? There's 24 hours of free porn. You can ride around on a Segway with the virtual reality glasses. These guys are selling a plastic potato you stick things into. They're rebranding. What should we do? Should we make it gay? Give it a rainbow ass. Just get them out of here. That's what they were doing. The most offensive thing about Mr. Potato Head should be that it's still made out of plastic.
Yeah.
And it's going to be floating in the ocean for 1,000 years after you're dead and done playing with it. That's not what it is. Did you hear what he said about gay plastic potatoes? Is this the America we want to live in? Meanwhile, this synthetic heroin killing people. Not important.
Hey, I've been a huge fan of your stand-up forever, but I also feel like I was a real early supporter of Bill Burr, the actor. I think you're fantastic and everything. You were just in this great new show, Reservation Dogs, where you're fantastic in that. And F is for Family is back for another season. This is what is this going to be? Season 4 or 5?
This is 5. This is the final one. I'm not allowed to say when it comes out, or else the Netflix algorithm police come after me. They know exactly when to announce it. So I can't tell you, but it's going to be coming out hopefully soon. And then Reservation Dogs was this amazing. I got the script for the episode, and just beautiful writing, the story, the whole thing, and what they were talking about. And then I went down there, and it was, they were just really, really cool. I had a great time working with everybody down there, and I'm excited that the show is doing so well. I believe it got picked up for a second season by the time the second episode.
Yeah, and
came
what a
out,
cool
which
young
is-
cast, man, of young actors.
Yeah. There's with Devery Jacobs, as I did most of my scenes with her, and then get all the names right. Kirk Fox, another stand-up comedian, plays the junkyard owner. Tazba Chavez, Sterling Harjo. I know I'm gonna forget a few other people, but like they just, I think Sterling was telling. He came on my podcast. He's from like the independent film world, so has a really, really strong background in just sort of doing things that you want to do as opposed to things that'll make money. I just think like this just felt like people were doing this because they were really connected to it. And I've been really lucky in my career. I don't know if you've noticed, I have paratrooped into some of the best stuff out there. I never created it. It wasn't my idea. I didn't write it. But I come in for like half an episode, rub up against it. And people think I know what I'm doing, but it's not me. It's been everybody, all the Vince Gilligan type people out there.
Well, you have been a perfect fit in every one of them, and it is always just a delight to have you here. Thanks so much, Bill.
All right, Seth. Thank you, buddy.
Of course, the vinyl release of Bill Burr live from Madison Square Garden is available at amoeba.com on September 23rd.